So today's video is about the whole of UAE. We're going to understand all the prices because I'm tired of everyone asking me, hey Zohaib, should I buy in Ras Al Khaimah? What's happening in the border of Dubai and Sharjah? But all of this is happening because of the borders of Dubai and Abu Dhabi sort of breaking, So I understand there's been a lot of development in Abu Dhabi, and there's certain reasons why I didn't get into it. I'll explain in the video shortly. But the reason now I feel like it is time to understand Ras Al Khaimah, Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, heck, even Oman, because when the prices rise, it is alarming for both you and for me, and it should be for you when the prices rise. I'll give you an example. My doctor, my family gynecologist, okay, this is the person who gave me the most beautiful gift of my life, both my sons, all right? So, beautiful relationship with this person for close to a decade. Now, two investments that she's done. One of her first investments was in downtown, South Region downtown at around 2 million, and now a one bed in downtown, it's difficult to go above this value. Now, the next investment that she made was somewhere around 2.9 in June in Arabian Ranches 3, okay. Now, this stock value has reached, let's say, 5.8 at this stage. I gave her the option to liquidate it, but she's very happy with the rental, she's happy with the return, and she wants it to go towards the 7 million mark, right? But what happened with this investment? The problem was we bought it at the peak, right? So that's why you have to be very careful. I'm just giving an example. You should be careful when you're buying something at a very high price per square foot. Unless it's something absolutely unique, like maybe like Bulgari, for example. But Bulgari in Dubai, people who bought it at a one bed at 3.5 million, sold it at 14 million dirhams. It's a one-off case. But on the coastline, maybe magic can happen. But the rest, it's always about supply and demand, right? Apartments can be a bit challenging, has to be really unique. I feel like houses were a better bet because it's your own land. The service charges per square foot is also lesser. And the land value always sort of tends to hold steady. So what's happening now is, let's say you have Ras Al Khaimah, it's a bit undefined over here. You have Al Quwain over here. There's Al Quwain over here. Al Quwain is where your senior is. So in Ras Al Khaimah right now, a one bed has touched the 1.9 million to 2 million mark, which is the 3,000 dirham per square foot. Al Quwain, okay, in Senior, I think, is still at the 2,200 dirham per square foot. That is Al Quwain. And the Dubai to Sharjah border, okay, so in this border, specifically, let's say these locations that you can see over here, we can get, let's say, houses that are 3-bed townhouses from 1.6 million upwards. Most interesting part is now the border of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I want to sort of dive deep into very specific investments that I am excited about. Okay, so in the whole of Ras Al Khaimah, the whole business model. Okay, let's start with why I did not speak about Abu Dhabi, because I don't know who I'm going to sell it to. For example, this is now it won't make sense to you at this now, but if I say it's the same problem as in Sharjah. Now, Sharjah, I'll tell you who the audience is. Now, recently there was this person, not an investor, somebody who moved from the UK, done with the taxes. I don't want to pay tax. I want to move to a safer country. I want to move to the UAE. I think there's a lot of opportunity. Just moved in. The schools in Dubai are very expensive. This is another thing I really want to express in every video of mine. Dubai is not the bling that you see on TV. There's very normal living people over here. People live in communities, walk in the park, walk their dogs, In Sharjah, the schools are not as expensive as in Dubai. You've got good family life. There's no party. So there is a certain audience that it attracts. So when they first moved to Ras Al Khaimah. They live in this beautiful 3-bedroom apartment on the beach, sea view, and they pay around 56,000 dirhams rent. But Ras Al Khaimah is a bit too far away for them. So they decided they want to work in Dubai, but they don't want the cost of living of Dubai because they've just moved from the UK. So they decided to live in Sharjah. In Sharjah, they're looking at communities like Masar by Aldar, Zahia by Majid Al Futem, because they can move their children into a school, which is not very expensive. The difference between a school in Sharjah and a school in Ras Al Khaimah is probably 1,000 dirhams per month, 1,000 dirhams per quarter, which they could afford. So that is your audience of Sharjah, right? It's a very end user audience. People who try to flip in Masar. What happened in Masar won, right? I think as of now, the only people who have made profit was in the first phase of Masar. In Sharjah, as of now, the only people who have made profit, because what happened is they were selling at like a 20-80 and a 30-70 plan. The investors who went greedy, who did not understand the whole process, they're like the same problem that happened in the initial boom of Dubai, right? A person who could afford one bought 5, and then the developer refused to give the NOC. And so what happened is they said that, hey, give us back the stock if you cannot pay. And so a lot of people who got greedy could not actually make the profits. A lot of stock came back into the market. It was sold at a higher price. And investors who could handle it, yes, they did make a profit. But Masar too, the prices are quite stuck. So I'm unable to identify that stock as to how much will it grow just because it is cheap. Now this is the most important point you guys should. When I see some products in the market, it actually pisses me off, because I'm like, the other day I saw this product where they were like, hey, pay 0% down payment and pay 1% a month. And I think that product will get sold out soon. But, I feel bad for the people who are going to buy it because, and unfortunately, I think, let's say, certain people try and force sell that, especially who are new to the market, right? And they don't understand the repercussions of this. They have a very short-term mindset. See, the people who want to stay 3 to 4 years in the market can come, sell the products that give you the highest commissions, and then switch off their phones. That's a great idea for them. But then there are other people, unless you sell a strong product, you don't have longevity in the market. So this is for all the agents out there who which developers I'm talking about, like horrible floor plans, horrible quality of construction, the contractors they use, they have a history of bad reputation. Coming to the point, everything that is cheap is not necessarily a flip, okay? You're not going to double your investment. So that is now this why I'm saying it's the same case as Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is like that, the high-end version of the same situation. I'll tell you the pros. The pros are that, so Abu Dhabi, if you look at the map of Abu Dhabi, so there's a shortcut to understanding Abu Dhabi, right? So let's say Dubai is over here. So it's one straight road. So let's say from Jebel Ali to this destination is 45 minutes. Now it gets complex because let's say from Dubai now to Yas Island is 45 minutes to let's say Ras Al Khaimah, which is the casinos also. Sinia Island is 45 minutes and Ras Al Khaimah is 60 minutes. So now distance is becoming a bit, technically from the Dubai airport to Atlantis, the Royal is also around 35 to 40 minutes. So time is, why I'm saying time is relative is because there was a time where, let's say, the city center of Dubai or UAE, Dubai especially, was like Sharjah and Deira. These were the hubs back in the 80s. And so when the government came up with Dubai Marina, we were like, who would buy there, and when they first came up with the project in Arabian Ranches again, who would buy there? It just doesn't make sense. And now I've understood that, okay, maybe it is just a matter of time. So I'm ready to accept distance. Now let me explain the important parts about Abu Dhabi. So you have Yas Island. So this section was what caught everyone's attention almost immediately, was Ramhan Island by Eagle Hills. Now Eagle Hills is again another venture by Mr. Alabar. Now Eagle Hills caught my attention with their project in Fujairah. It was a massive success, especially among the locals, sold out. It does really well in terms of ROI because Fujairah is like when you come to Dubai, you'll find the energy, the vibe, like everyone's working, it's a very busy life and you feel that in the energy in Dubai. So someone wants to unwind in Dubai, one of the favorite destinations is Fujairah, Corfacan, and you find like the energy really slow. So recently I visited the address Fujairah and I saw Eagle Hills, and they were packed. The occupancy is fantastic. So people who did invest did make good profit. Will they be able to flip or sell it? In time, yes, maybe, but it comes under, see, my favorite approach is, okay, let's enter low to medium risk and exit in medium to high. So the second I'm a little stressed, I inform my investors, hey, listen, this is comes under that medium to high risk. I don't know when I'll be able to flip it, because it's a unique buyer, right? I'll tell you who. Not every day I'm going to get someone who wants to live in Fujairah, you know. There'll be one-off cases where people love Fujairah so much that they want it to be their guest house, or you know, that vacation holiday home. So back over here, so Ramhan Island was a very interesting project. Now Jubail Island, another location, beautiful mangroves, one of the most. Now the sea in Abu Dhabi is genuinely way more clear and beautiful than Dubai. This is one of the top selling points of Palm Jebel Ali, according to me. Apart from a major infrastructure upgrade, I think the sea of Abu Dhabi in itself is really beautiful. Saadiyat Island is one of the main. Saadiyat Island, Reem Island, and then this is your main Corniche, you know, where it's the main city. So this is where the Fast and Furious movie was shot, you know. So those are the hotels over there, right behind the Emirates Palace Hotel. So it is one of the biggest Emirates, but I think this is your key sort of area. This entire patch is where people generally, like, I guess 80% of the audience would visit in this section of Abu Dhabi. Now the biggest problem, again, the same concept between Abu Dhabi and Sharjah, like, who as an end user, it's phenomenal. So to give you perspective on prices, let's go back to the old map. So to give you perspective on prices, over here, okay, these are just interesting products that you can look into, and we're going to come into the interesting products in Dubai as well. So you have Hamra, which is say around 8 million dirhams. You can get a villa on the beach near the casino. In the case of, let's say, Ramhan Island, we are looking at products starting from the 11 million mark. Again, this is one of the, I think similar is with, so next to Ramhan Island, slightly closer, there's a beautiful Hudayriyat Island by Modon. I won't get the name right, so I'll put Modon. Starting at 6 million AD. Villas in a private beach community. Now let's get into the reason why I started this video. Specific products in Dubai that I'm really keen on. So the reason why this whole video started, where, you know, I explained that how the borders are dissolving, is here. Now of course we have the famous Palm Jebel Ali, right? Now Palm Jebel Ali is definitely a game changer. There are several game changers in the market, right? See, the new airport, how much ever the airport, I think what, in 6 years it's changing to the new Maktoum airport is definitely a big move. You know, how it's going to change the dynamics of the market, we are yet to identify. Expo City. Now the fact that WTC, World Trade Center, is moving all its exhibitions to Expo, we're expecting revenue of around $5 billion every year from Expo alone. Palm Jebel Ali. Now all of this is happening in the next 5 to 6 years. Apart from Palm Jebel Ali, I guess there is a Dubai Reef project. We'll get into those details a bit later. And the Peninsula. I'm trying to think if there's... So there are a few very important phenomenons that are occurring in the next 5 to 6 years that we have to closely study in order to make a sensible investment decision. Apart from the geopolitical situation, what's happening in the US, what's happening in UK, Europe. Whatever happens in UK and Europe sort of follows 10 years down the line in Australia. And then you need to understand the markets of Singapore, China, Hong Kong as well. So, you know, we need to understand the geopolitical situation, but that's probably a separate video. At this point, assessing this particular location is definitely going to gain a lot of traction in the next 5 to 7 years, and that's inevitable, right? If you see the infrastructure of Palm Jebel Ali, there's no comparison to Palm Jumeirah. It's definitely going to pull a crowd. It will take time to develop, but this is definitely going to be an the difference between the borders of Dubai and Sharjah and Dubai and Abu Dhabi is this. Dubai and Sharjah border is for the affordable luxury or the affordable housing. So people who cannot afford the rents in Dubai, they move towards the Sharjah district. Now, another very important is the metro line. Metro line, the Etihad rail, Creek Tower. As and when I remember, these are very, very important points for you to really assess your investments, to understand how these are factors by which you'll understand how Dubai is sort of shaping its future. So, Palm Jebel Ali. Now, right next to Palm Jebel Ali, this particular plot, okay, this is around 50 million square foot of land. It's been purchased by, not purchased, it's a venture between the Abu Dhabi government, that's ADQ, and it's run by the brother of the ruler himself, Sheikh Tahnoon. He's called the $1.5 trillion man. And with the richest man in Egypt, Mr. Naguib Sawiris. So now I did not realize the importance of Mr. Sawiris until I posted one picture with this man, and I started getting calls from all over the world, Egyptians from all over the world, saying that, hey, if Mr. Sawiris is developing this project, I trust this person, I want to invest over here. I had doctors calling me saying that, hey, all of his doctors would like to pool in and buy a mansion on the beach. And I'm like, hey, I don't have any details yet. I just know that, okay, I have a few details. I understand that, okay, it's a community. There are about 2,136 houses. There will be residential buildings. There's going to be a school, a hospital, and about 100 mansions on the beach. The mansions on the beach, as of now, speculations are that the prices will be around 24 to 25 million. And these sort of independent villas behind the beach are around the 5 million mark. And the townhouse will be a lot cheaper, but apparently the townhouses are sold out. The EOI is just poured in. So townhouses were selling around the 3 million mark. But this project caught my attention, and what caught my attention is that, okay, you've got this project over here. You've got the Ohana Villas by Jacob & Co. right next door, so that you can see this Ohana. This was selling, I don't know, between 50 to 70 million. And now from here, Yas Island feels a lot closer, right? It feels like a 30-minute distance away. You see how the walls are slowly closing in? So now people for the affordable housing are going towards the Sharjah mark, and for the ultra luxury section, they're coming towards this side. So how the market will respond, because what's the competition for Ramhan Island? So if I compare a Ramhan Island to an Oasis, which is technically the same price point, or a Palm Jebel Ali, which one would you choose? Of course, me, I understand the Dubai market, so my preference, in terms of rank order, it'll be MR's, Oasis, purely because of infrastructure. Got Palm Jebel Ali because of the beach, and the sea is a lot more bigger, beautiful, near Abu Dhabi, and then of course Ramhan. But the audience, it again depends on the audience's preference. Maybe because in Abu Dhabi there is not an oversupply situation. I wouldn't say an oversupply. See, the demand in Dubai itself is so high. Every year there are about 100,000 residents on an average moving into Dubai. Currently, like I said, because of the geopolitical situation, Dubai is in a very safe position. But Abu Dhabi is a lot more controlled, like other governments in the world. Why are the rents high in Netherlands? Because the government refuses to build. So what do you do if the government refuses to build? There is no supply, and so the investors who have bought a few houses, they are forced to sell because they understand they're getting a better price. They're not going to build. So similar situation, Abu Dhabi, there are just few locations. They don't want to build. The entire market is controlled by the government. I don't think they plan to privatize like Dubai. They don't have the requirement. It's an extremely rich country. It's ranked as one of the safest cities in the world. Very rich economy. Now, so this is something that we should definitely consider in the future. I'll be giving a lot more detailed report on this particular project versus Ramhan versus Saadiyat, so we'll give a much more detailed versus Jubail detailed analysis of the Abu Dhabi market. Now, just as a closing, let's talk about my favorite projects that you should target. I believe this year in Dubai, or this quarter at least. I mean, it's tough to say about a year in Dubai, but this quarter. Grand Polo. Why Grand Polo is really important? First phase of the master plan. I'm not going to give prices because Emaar is banning all agencies to give the prices and details. But most important part is the location, and it's the first phase of a new master plan by Emaar. No brainer. I know the prices. I understand the floor plans. If you want more information on this, let me know. It's located right opposite Oasis. So this is exactly like that Emirates Hills situation. So what's in Emirates Hills? You've got Emirates Hills, you've got you've got meadows, you've got springs and lakes. Lakes is something a little more exclusive. Same situation over here, right? So you've got Oasis, you've got Grand Polo, and you've got the Heights. So these are your townhouses, independent villas, ultra luxury, and at some point over here you have your Expo. Everything is on the Al-Fai road, so extremely important product. Maritime City, I keep reiterating, I'm still on Maritime City because of what's happening around that area, what's happening in J1 Beach. I don't know if you saw the video of Andrew Tate also going into J1 Beach, Jennifer Lopez, Prince Fazza. Solaya was launched at around 6,000 dirham per square foot. I explained about Peninsula. It's going to be the most ultra luxury destination of Dubai at 8,000 dirham per square foot. Bulgari has reached 14,000 dirham per square foot. So very, very niche, bang opposite downtown Dubai, very niche area. 3, I would definitely talk about the Ras Al Khor area, simply because there are some products that face the Dubai Creek. So you've got basically the sanctuary here, you've got the Creek Tower, and you've got Ras Al Khor. And right next to Ras Al Khor, Dubai downtown, the Burj Khalifa downtown skyline view. So there are few units around the 3 million mark, 2 beds around 3 million at 2,000 dirham per square foot. That's definitely a product I would target. This is like me talking about Maritime City 2 years ago. That's Ras Al Khor for you. In case of an apartment, that's very interesting. Again, water view, Creek Tower view. Should definitely invest. Creek Harbour, it's funny. So Creek Harbour, the opportunity is not off plan. In Creek Harbour, the opportunity is secondary off plan. So if you're looking at a secondary off plan market, let me know. I'll tell you which products to choose in Creek Harbour. Apart from this, there will be townhouses coming up in the valley. A very interesting location. It's very similar to the Avina product, but the location is really good. I think these are the products. Apart from this, of course, Oasis is a no-brainer. I think Oasis is the only product where even an Emaar agent would guarantee that this will double in price. There are certain specific reasons, 1,700 dirham per square foot. And I think I'll have to make one more video explaining the entire trajectory. Okay, near downtown, what is the best product to invest? Why at 1,700 dirham per square foot? If you compare it with an existing product, anywhere in the market is selling around 4,000 dirham per square foot. So achieving double of this value is definitely possible. Oasis is a fantastic product. The rest, when it comes to Palm Jebel Ali, we should definitely look into this new project that's coming up onto the market to make maximum revenue. So what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think. Apart from this, I'm going to make a case study report on semi-detached townhouses. So there are these exclusive semi-detached townhouses coming on a park around 4.4 million dirhams. There's another product coming up in Maritime City at an interesting price per square foot as well. So let me know. What I would normally recommend is schedule a call with us. You'll be connected to one of my consultants. Me and my consultant will buddy together to build a strategy for you. And based on the strategy, based on your requirement, I'll be able to assess which product is the right fit for you. It's not like, hey, should I invest in Ras Al Khaimah? Should I invest in Abu Dhabi? It really depends on what your requirement is. Maybe, and I will be able to assess that. I've been doing this for 15 years. Now when I meet a client, I sort of understand what his requirement is and build a customized sort of strategy for that investor. I hope you enjoyed this video. I need to make more videos about this. about what is happening specifically in Sharjah. I'll go to Sharjah and shoot those videos. I want to go to Abu Dhabi and shoot those videos. And I want to take a helicopter ride, so that's also coming in the books. A helicopter ride to give you an aerial view of Palm Jebel Ali, this particular project, and Ramhan Island, Jubail Island to give you. I will take a helicopter ride for that particular, like how I did the sort of little jet for the Wind Casino and the Sinia Island project. So these are some very interesting investments you should not miss. I would highly recommend, if you're looking to invest in Dubai, schedule a Zoom call with me and my team, and we'll be happy to assist. Thank you for watching. Mohammed Zohaib.